Alright guys, artist Kevin Sexton here, and today I'm going to talk about what all artists run into is a major problem is studio space. Square footage, you just never have enough. But if you can be a little creative and possibly find solutions. I'm up here in what I call my workshop. This is where I do my more messier stuff. I got my studio in my house where it's all nice, warm, and comfortable. But every artist needs a space to create and make a big mess.
Ready, set, go!
So come inside, let's see what madness we can find. Come on. And I used to live, I'm talking about live, inside of a 10,000 square foot building where I had all the space in the world. I mean, actually too much space. I wish I only had half of it. It would have probably been a lot better to contain, a lot less headache. That's what constantly I was always involved with cleaning and maintenance issues and stuff like that. So there is a such thing as too big, but really, we always need more space. So what I did is up here in this old garage apartment. It used to be a rec room back in the day, and it's full of junk, as you can see here. Just a hot, try to get the lighting better. Just a hot mess of just crazy stuff, and it's everywhere. All I used to have up here for about the first 5 years, I'd done some cleaning about it last Christmas at this time, and made some major changes. And I have to say, in the last year, major changes. And what I had here, sorry guys, first one I did, trying to flip it, but as you see here, there's a hallway here. And that's, I used to have just this hallway here. And then when you come through here, and I had a little bit right here. And even this was probably half of this size. So you can tell a little L-shaped hallway was not much. Time I had my Christmas stuff up here and stuff like that, it was just totally unusable. So last year, during the Christmas holidays and New Year's, I pulled half of this building out, threw a bunch of junk away, and then I started rearranging. So now I have tables. I got a project here, a secret project I'm working on. I'll fill you guys in later on that. And I created this corner here where I do a lot of my casting. And see, here's my other pressure pots. It's a little messy, and that's part of the video I'm talking about today is cleaning up after projects. And that's the end of the year, and that's what I'm doing. I've had several projects up here, then all the Halloween, Thanksgiving decorations, and stuff kind of got an array. You know what I'm talking about. So over here, you can see, have this area here, big round table. This is where we are starting to film some of our Paranormal Chasers videos. This is going to be like the little makeshift place where we can hang out, discuss, and do some filming. So anyway, but the point I'm getting at, I'm going to get this camera still so I don't make everybody seasick. But the point I'm getting at is, this space was not properly utilized for over 5 years. Well, actually knocking on 6 years. And like I said, last year, I got fed up with it. I said, I need more space. And I didn't want to go out and rent anything. So when I come up here one day, when I said, okay, I got to throw a bunch of junk away. And when I started pulling stuff out and started throwing stuff away, and I started like, wait a minute. I got some square footage up here. You know, and yes, I do have issues here where some parts of the months of the year, it's way too hot. Other parts of the months, like right now, it gets a little too cold. But there is some viable time in between those where it's very, very comfortable in here. And then other times, you get in here and get to work and stuff. I keep, as here, I got a fan. I got several heaters laying about. So only thing I've learned on the heaters, because they have more wattage and stuff, I have to make sure they're on a separate breaker. And talking about the breaker, that's one thing. There is all this right here used to be wall of boxes all the way up to the ceiling, to the point to where this bad boy right here, the electrical box, I didn't know it even existed. I never could see it. For 6 years, I never saw that. So when I'm in here pulling all this junk out, I find an electrical box. And I go in and start, light starts coming on. I find a plug-in. I actually got 2 different breakers that I can pull on. And I got another breaker I hooked up into it. So, wow. The only thing I learned is if I'm running my air compressor, doing my pressure pots, I cannot be running a heater on the same outlet. Boop, trips the breaker. So I just make sure I plug in all my heaters over here. I got another little outlet down here that I plugged into off the other breaker, and that solved the problem. So that way I can keep, if I got a little bit of warmth, most of my life I've worked for utility companies or whatever, so I've always worked outside. So I'm used to working in hellacious conditions, freezing my butt off, burning up. So I'm kind of used to a little unpleasant weather. So anyway, I've learned to deal with it. So, but the changes it's made in my creative attributes is being amazing. Like I said, I got room. Anytime I got messy paint projects where the paint's got to fly a little bit, I come up here, or if I'm doing any kind of plastering work and stuff like that, it comes in handy. I'm up here building this model that I said I would not build a model until I moved. Project came up. Actually, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the project. It has been in my head for like 19 years. And so next year will be 20 years. And I thought, hey, Kevin, you might want to finally get around doing something with it. So I decided, okay, I'm going to spend the next year making this project up to a level where I can create a product. And then I'm going to give it probably a year or two and just see what it does. But either way, I need to get it out of my system. 19 years is too long to be mucking around in your head. So it's time to make it happen. So, but one thing I want to talk about, as you can see, I got a little bit of a mess and stuff going around. And that's normal. If you're an artist and you're doing something, you're creating something, you make a mess. But when you get done at the end of a big project, or it's at the end of the year, now is the best time to do a cleanup. Get everything back in order, because there's nothing better than when an artist has a blank slate. That's when the creativity fires up in your head. I'm here to tell you, it makes a huge difference. And like I said, just making this spot opened up so many doors at what I already did some major filming up here. Because what I learned is I was filming up here when I told you I had that whole L shape. I dug out like a 8-foot square to set. I got this tripod on this table, and it was just enough for my grandkids to come in and sit at that table. And we had just enough room for a cameraman to sit up over here, and another cameraman to sit up over there, and slots. So we were in slots, hiding behind boxes to get these shots. And it looked great. But once I come up here and I done some filming after cleaning up, oh wow, the opportunities have really opened up the door. So one thing, so like I said, guys, if you might have an attic, you might have a basement downstairs, an old 8x10 garage. Get out there, throw some junk away, clean it out, do some repairs, upgrade your electricity. And when I say upgrade electricity, get the extra big, thick drop cords and run some power. That's all it takes. We're not running big, huge, major equipment out here. All you need, a little bit of light, a fan, a heater if you might need one. And that's about it. Something to plug your camera stuff in. I mean, just a few outlets. I mean, that makes all I have here. How many overheads? One. I got less than 10 lights running here. And I got them staged out in the areas where I do work. Here, anywhere I do stages of work. The lamp I got here, I didn't want it blinding everybody. But usually this lamp here is right over this table when it's free. And this is where I do a lot of work. But power is essential. So what I'm saying is, guys, 2-3 weekends, a little elbow grease, get out here and get a little dirty. You might have an attic, like I said, a basement, outdoor building, or whatever it is, and you can really get a little creative and make a space where you can extend your workflow. And extending your workflow is a major deal, because it's when you get used to being confined, you'll consistently start thinking, well, I only have this amount of space, so I only can do this. So you start limiting your brain on what projects you can and can't do. And that really, you'll start thinking always small things instead of thinking of big. It's good to go big every once in a while, not all the time, but sometimes you need to go a little bit bigger than what your standard workflow is. And so give yourself that pleasure. Give yourself that opportunity to spread your wings a little bit and grow. And I'm Kevin, and I'm an artist, and this is my journey here on the ups and downs, the good, bad, and the ugly. If you're looking for a channel to where, oh, Kevin's going to be reviewing the next new tool or the next, no, I don't go on around here. I'm telling you, because I'm like you guys. All this is done on a budget. I'm not going to sit here and waste my money on high dollar equipment and all this. And there's not going to be no crazy company wanting me to sponsor their stuff. So if you want to figure out how you can do it on your level, I'm here to help you. So I'm artist Kevin Sexton. I hope this tips help you out. If you have any questions, just drop me a question. I'll get right to you. Help you out any way I can. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more videos coming this year. And guess what? It's all across the board. It's like I said, this channel is turning more into a documentary versus just one little thing doing. This is not a painting channel. This is not an art channel. This is not a toy channel. It's just whatever the heck Kevin is doing at the moment. And I'm going to take you along for the ride. And that's what the show is about. Whether it be exercising, doing taekwondo, lifting weights, it don't matter. It's going to be a caveat of crazy things. I actually got 3 pressure pots. This one I'm actually going to be, my brother's taking it off my hands. I had 3. At one time, I was starting my own casting services company, and it lasted a little bit. Biggest problem was I could never. The game plan was I would sculpt the originals, make the molds, teach my guys how to do the castings, and while they're doing the casting runs, I'd move on to the next project, doing the designing and sculpting of that, making the prototype. While they're doing that way, I'll pass that on. I'll go start another one. That way, everybody's working, and they're not always waiting on me. So it stayed just a lot better idea. Is I stay ahead of them on the designing, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. And so I have all these pressure pots, and really, at most, with being just one guy casting, 2 is more than enough. And my brother needs to get into it, and so I'm cutting him a good deal on this. And that helps him out because he's getting into it and stuff like that. So it's a win-win for both of us. Alright guys, I guess the last thing I want to, just a little bit closer here, is like I said, just wrapping up everything here, doing a good cleanup. You know, hey, much better than what it was. We got nice clean, look at that, yes, nice works. And I got this little spot wide open. Is I'm going to be doing another video on tool mobility, I guess is a good way to, tool transportation. I hadn't decided what I was going to call it yet or anything like that, but sometimes I run into issues transporting tools because I don't like leaving tools up here, like I said, because of the climate changes and stuff. But yeah, like I said, that'll be another video, but this is the spot that I'll be using that, so if you keep following me, you'll see what I'm talking about. But biggest thing, like I said, I got a lot more clean I need to do. This was my main workspace, so I need to get set back up. Got some stuff to do for a project for Rommel on that whole lead up from the, what is it, yeah, the Razor Crest deal. So you get to see some of the things I'm working for him. He said he gave me a permission to make videos on that, so you guys can kind of follow along on what I'm doing for him and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is, guys, clean your space. Do your job. Clean up. That way you have that nice fresh start going into the new work. And plus, like I said, it really jumpstart your creativity when you got it. Because you see that nice clean slate. Is this like a white sheet of paper or a white canvas? You're just like, I know what I can do with that. In the same way, having a nice clean bench really does the same thing. There's really nothing different in it. So that's my tip for the year is clean your space. Be creative looking for your space. And trust me, it will do your soul a whole lot of good when you find another little nook that you can spread your wings into. So I'm artist Kevin Sexton. I hope you guys enjoyed all of this and everything. And like I said, there's a lot more coming. Please join me. It's going to be one heck of a ride. Later.